Now let's turn our attention to looking at routines and subroutines, and how one calls another, and what important points we have to keep in mind when troubleshooting a project with subroutines. Subroutines are used extensively in ControlLogix projects because they offer a great way to organize the programming in related groups of what needs to be controlled. Most undoubtedly, we are going to be involved with subroutines when troubleshooting. And here we're going to go over some important points and behaviors that you need to be aware of. So let's go back to our assembly project. And to simplify things, we're going to delete the assembly shutdown event task, system check periodic task, and also the press station program. Also, we're going to remove the fault routine and the shrink control subroutine in the conveyor system program, leaving only the wrapper control subroutine. Note that if we try to delete the assembly shutdown event task before deleting the press station program, which has the event task instruction, the Studio 5000 will not allow us to delete it. However, if we delete the press station first, then the event instruction does not exist anymore, and no link to the event task is present. Then we can delete the event task. So let's delete the press station program, and then the assembly shutdown event, and system check periodic tasks. Also, we will delete the conveyor fault routine, and the shrink control subroutine. For the controller to execute and evaluate the logic that is stored in the subroutine wrapper control, there has to be a jump to subroutine instruction, or JSR, in another routine. In this case, in the main routine conveyor main control, since it is the only other routine. So we can add another rung in the main routine by clicking here in the language toolbar on the new rung icon. If we want to go to the subroutine unconditionally, meaning that the controller will go to the subroutine in every scan, we do not need to put any conditions before the JSR instruction. So we just click or drag the JSR instruction from the Program Control tab in the Language toolbar, and the instruction is added to the rung. To indicate which subroutine the instruction will direct program execution of, we double-click on the routine name entry. Or we can also start to enter the routine name and the system will try to populate it. If you double-click, the drop-down menu will allow you to select the routine that you want to be the subroutine to jump to. Both methods work the same way. And then you can press Enter on the keyboard or click anywhere on the routine editor. If you press Enter, the cursor is moved to another entry named Input Parameter. For now, we simply click outside of the instruction. We'll look at these parameters shortly to see what they are, but for now, we're going to have to get rid of them because our rung is showing errors due to the fact that the parameters are not defined. So, we right-click on Input Parameter and select Remove Instruction Parameter for all the parameter entries. Now we have a rung with no errors. When the controller evaluates this rung in every scan, it will go to the subroutine wrapper control without any conditions, or what is referred to as unconditionally. If we wanted to go to the subroutine on a condition, or to be a conditional jump to subroutine, we could add an instruction in the front of the JSR. For example, let's create a new tag for a normally open contact instruction and name it Photo I Detect, or PE Detect. And let's alias it to local1 iData4. Under this programming condition, the controller will go to the subroutine only if PE Detect is activated or on. To show some important subroutine functionality, let's add some simple logic to the subroutine. So we open the subroutine by double-clicking, and since there was no logic, it opens with an empty rung, where we can add some simple instructions. In here, let's add a normally open photo sensor switch named Box Detected and alias it to local1 iData2. Then have the Box Detected tag drive an output coil, which is connected to an indicating pilot light, PL Box Detected, wired to the output with base tag local2 O data.